Now will be our another prepared speaker who is Lucia. So her answer of my question is, I have a chubby figures in my whole life. That's a pretty nice way to describe. I've searched it online. What does that mean? That is so cute. And a few years ago, she tried a 8-hour diet and lost 15 kilograms in 6 months. That is very cool. Wow. And somehow she get back in use whatever diet and made herself not fit at all, and but but not so healthy, but quite happy and satisfied. I love your whatever diet. Actually, I enjoy the whatever diet very much. I think with us happy and satisfied, you can still keep yourself healthy, and fit is just how your body is fit the way you want, so it's still fit. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
Who doesn't like coffee? Well, that is not a question. Who doesn't drink coffee at all? Well, that's a serious question, because some people get palpitation, 心悸, or insomnia, 失眠, after drinking coffee, while some other people, they can simply enjoy coffee without any side effects. So I say coffee is somehow like life. Both of them are bittersweet. Well, when I was young, I dreamed of owning my own coffee shop. Years gone by, I realized that owning or having a decent coffee shop is not an easy thing. But still, I take some classes and learn some knowledge about coffee. So today, I would like to share something about coffee with you. Coffee, unfortunately, is not the most popular drink of all. It is the third popular drink, ranking after water, of course, and tea. But comparing to tea or wine or juice, coffee is a relatively young drink because it was first discovered in what is now Yemen in 10th century, and it was not popular. It was not brought to the Western world until 18th century, and wasn't popular until 20th century. Then, how come coffee is so popular right now? Well, maybe some of you have heard an expression called the third wave of coffee, 第三波咖啡浪潮. Well, third means there's first and second, of course. The three different eras represents the different ways people consume and think of coffee. The first wave of coffee was the era that people simply take coffee as just coffee. They don't care about where the coffee comes from and the beverage type. So for example, instant coffee, canned coffee, or free refilled cafe coffee. Well, as long as they taste like coffee, they're just coffee. So if you still remember the catchy commercial lines, 在吗？要跟你喝杯咖啡 and took Nestle instant coffee, then you had experienced the first wave of coffee. The second wave of coffee begins around late 60s. Mr. Alfred Peet, he owned a coffee shop called Peet's Coffee and Tea in California. Well, he started to focus on where the coffee comes from, and he did dark roast and blending the coffee beans. Well, his coffee inspired the founders of Starbucks. which evolves into a multinational coffee chain right now. So, if you ever brought your laptop, especially Apple MacBook with you, and you hang around in Starbucks all day by just ordering 1 cup of coffee, then you have experienced the second wave of coffee. The third wave of coffee is relatively related to so-called specialty coffee. In Chinese, we call it 精品咖啡. While people start to focus more on the high quality of coffee, and also we know the origin of the coffee, and we enjoy it, not only the consumers, but also the manufacturer enjoy and appreciate all the things brought by the high quality coffee. So if you ever ordered a small cup of coffee and spent more than 250 NT dollars and a coffee named Geisha, then you definitely experienced the third wave of coffee. Well, in case you didn't notice that, well, several months ago we had a meeting in Wu Cafe, and what they served was specialty coffee. Well, if you ever looked carefully of their package of the coffee beans, you will know where the coffee comes from and how they process the coffee pulps and the degree of roasting and the flavor that you will get from the brewed coffee, and also when the coffee bean was roasted. And maybe, just maybe, you are triggered by my speech today, or the very delicious coffee you ever have before, and you wanted to start your journey of specialty coffee, but you don't have any equipment or coffee machine in your house, and you don't want to take risk under the terror of coronavirus right now by visiting so many coffee shops. Well, now we have a way out.
Wow.
Drip coffee back. Well, probably you have heard a very famous quote. If I'm not home, I'm in a cafe. If I'm not in a cafe, I'm on the way to it. But thanks to the technology today, we can not live in our homes, but enjoy the coffee in any way. Toastmaster. Yay.